Hello, Regina. Happy Saturday. Hello, Lucinda. Thank you. If you ladies would go ahead and hit the thumbs up so that you're already covered when I ask for it to be done for the next 1,000 times throughout this video. What did you purchase, Regina? Any good deals out there? I ran out, but it was to the bank to grab some lunch and by the drugstore, and then I came back home. Hello, Vader. Hello, hello, hello. So I'm going to start with a little bit of a PSA. Hi. Oh, okay. Thanks, Regina. I cannot wait to hear later what you purchased. So we are going to send Candle Book Lover from Instagram to the Enabler Corner because she tagged myself, Sonja Covington, Mrs. Q, and the rest of the Dooney tribe in a post on Instagram sharing that the Antonio Milani executive tote had been cited. All four colors, black, pewter, cognac, and yes, red. All four colors are at Dillard's at the Coconut Point store in Estero, Florida, or Estero, Estero, Florida. They ship. The prices marked down to the 59.50, and they do provide shipping for 9.95 from the store. So if you are still on the fence or looking, they have been spotted in Florida. So thank you to Candle Book Lover for tagging us in that post. And now you can go to the Enabler Corner. All right, so I am going to start with actually the bonus feature first. Let me make sure I've got the chat up. Um, Hello, Mo Knows Beauty. Welcome. I think I've gotten everyone. If you would go ahead and hit the thumbs up, I'm going to start with what I'm going to call my bonus feature. And that is a purchase that I made earlier in the week from Coach on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I found myself at both Michael Kors and at Coach. You've already heard this from a couple of different people. Hello, T Elbow. And I'm going to reiterate it because I heard it all as well firsthand from the essays in Coach. The Black Friday sale that is currently going on at Coach is the Black Friday sale. Things are 70% off, clearance is 70 plus 20, and that's the sale. So the store manager at the store that I shopped up in North Georgia said that this is it. They're expecting an average of 16,000 people in their stores over the course of the weekend. And she said, hey, while the lines are not long, while you are not elbow to elbow with people in the store, if there is something in here that you see that you like, now is the time to get it. She says 70% off is the Black Friday sale. What they will have on Black Friday are promotional items at promotional prices. But if you're thinking that you're going to find, I don't know, a gallery tote or a double clutch, whatever, the price is as good as it's going to get on the stuff that's in the store now. Friday, though, next week, Black Friday, they will have promotional items in each of the stores, of course, at those promotional prices. But if you're looking to make a purchase and it's something that's in there now, the price, according to that store manager, is the same today as it will be next Friday. As for what I picked up, I have been looking for a laptop. Not a laptop. That's wrong. I've been looking for an iPad case for my iPad Pro, which is like 12.9 inches, I think is the dimensions on it in length. but I didn't want what Apple provides. I didn't really want the one with the keyboard in it because I typically don't use the keyboard. I did in my earlier with my earlier iPads, but for some reason with the Pro, I've just not gravitated to a case. Um, but I did find one in Coach. It was the last one. The store manager told me that they got those in the Thursday before. I was in the store on Tuesday. They had one left. She absolutely told me if you are even remotely considering getting this item, hold on to it until you make a final decision because it is the last one in the store. So I'm going to show that item to you. It is this beauty. So it is in black leather, the gold hardware. It has an amazing pocket on the back side, and the zipper. This is actually larger than my iPad. So they are actually sized so that you could get a small Chromebook or small laptop in them. So it is padded. Does not have a padded pocket per se or a padded sleeve, but the interior is suede or micro suede in chocolate, and it is padded. And on the front wall, it has two large pockets. So whether it was business cards or pens, or I think it's a little too tight for things like a mouse or stuff like that that you may end up carrying if you're using it as a laptop. But it is large enough that you could slide a small wallet down in there if you wanted to keep that in there. And it has a pretty nice size base or butt on it. I would show you it in my iPad in it, but I'm actually filming on it right now. So if you see one of these, it has they've been pretty hard to find, pretty coveted, and they have limited inventory, at least in most of the stores. So that is what I picked up from Coach. And it could not have come at a better time because I will be using it to travel to Nashville to put my iPad in instead of just dropping it over in my purse, which is what I've been doing the last several times that I visited. So that's the first item. The next item is really the center, the core of the reason that we've got a PM Tribe Time edition. So I'm assuming that you are either here because you are interested in Zip Zip or Carter, but the size doesn't work for you. Either you are a diehard Dooney Tribe member. It's cold, dreary, rainy in your part of the country like it is in mine, and you're YouTubing, binge watching YouTube. Or you're just curious to see what it is. Regardless of what the answer is, I am ecstatic to have you here. So let's start by talking about the promotion that's currently going on at Michael Kors. Michael Kors is currently having 70% off in store. I've not checked to see what the eBates is for michaelkors.com, but this purchase was specifically made at the outlet. 70% is the current sale promotion. The SA told me that likely for Black Friday, Michael Kors will be an additional 20% off. However, the bag that I purchased was in limited quantity. It had come in on Friday before, and the total of 3 colors, they ended up with 7 left in store, 6 or 7 after my purchase. SA said Black Friday will likely be an additional 20% off, and that if I am so inclined, which I am likely not, But if I am so inclined as to bring it back, they will do a price adjustment for the additional 20% off. It's not that serious for me for the 20% to be out elbow to elbow, trying to find a parking spot, bump it, have people, but it's just not worth it to me. So I just went ahead and picked it up. But she did say that that would likely be the Black Friday promotion. So um, when I walked into the store, and I did do a little bit of filming, but me editing myself, me critiquing myself, it's not my usual um, filming. So I'm not sure yet whether I'm going to upload it or not. Just because I realized that I was way more into the bags than I was in the filming. So sometimes it wasn't exactly where the camera needed to be. All right. So when I immediately walked into the store, I saw what was immediately in the front, and then I looked up, and across the store on the very top shelf was this amazing, oversized bag that is like the big sister, the great grandmother of both the Carter and the Zip Zip. And I immediately went across the floor to get my hands on this gorgeous, gorgeous bag. So I'm going to show it to you, but before I do, I'm just going to give you some dimensions. If you've got pen and paper handy, it would be helpful, I think, to jot these down just so that you can kind of see the dimensions on paper so that if you are in the market for this style bag, right? If you know what the Zip Zip is like, and if you know what the Dome Satchel is like, and if you know what a couple others that I'm going to show you are like, you will have a good comparison to the size for this purchase from Michael Kors. So the Zip Zip, which is too little for me, the Zip Zip is 9.5 tall. The butt on it, so the depth is 5.25, and it is 1 foot long. And I do that. That is like 1 foot long. So 9.5 tall, 5.25 butt, and 12 inches long. That's Zip Zip. Carter is the exact same height as Zip Zip. So it's 9.5 high, which doesn't make it any bigger to me. It's the same height. It's 5.25 butt. So it is a 1/2 inch deeper than Zip Zip. And it's 12 3/4 long. So it's 3/4 of an inch longer than Zip Zip. So a little bit longer, a little bit deeper, same height. Carter does not work for me either. I'm curious, how many of the 19 of you that are in the live right now, how many of you have Zip Zip or Carter? And if you don't have Zip Zip or Carter, really quick in the chat, tell me why you have neither or either of these two. Zip Zip, Carter. How many of you have? No Zip Zip for Mo Knows Beauty. Anyone else? Oh, you have Zip Zip. Okay, so Mo has Zip Zip. TL Bo has a Zip Zip. All right, any others? Hi, Four Ducks. So I don't have a Zip Zip that I can recall. I mean, I'm kind of going through stuff now, but I've not come across a Zip Zip. Yeah, Lucinda, it's the same for me. I don't have either. They just feel small for me. Four Ducks has two of them. I think you either love that size bag or it's too small. Okay, because of the size. So I'm hearing the size. Either it's because the size it's too small and wish it was bigger, or it's just right. So for those of you that like Zip Zip and Carter for its size, and you're not a big bag girl, then this bag is gonna, this probably, it's not gonna be for you. But for those of you that are like me, that look at Zip Zip and Carter and say, what in the heck am I supposed to put in there? I got you. All right, so next bag for size comparisons is the domed satchel. So the dome satchel is 10 and a half. Hi, Mrs. Q. The dome satchel is 10 and a half high. So it's an inch taller than Zip Zip. The dome satchel has a 6.5 inch butt, where the Zip Zip only has 5 1/4 butt. The dome satchel is 12.5 inches long, and the Zip Zip is 12 inches long. So it's a 1/2 inch longer in the domed satchel. The domed buckle satchel, which is currently available, is 12 inches high, so definitely taller than all of the bags that we've talked about so far. It has 6.5 inches on the butt, so it's just as deep as the domed satchel, and it's 15 inches long. So that's the longest bag of the comparators that that I've got. 6.5, same butt as the domed satchel, as the domed buckle satchel. Domed satchel 12.5 long. Domed buckle satchel is 15 long. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the large Barlow. Right? It's a satchel. It's a larger one, but I want you to kind of have in your mind what the dimensions, when I give those to you, would actually feel like. So the large Barlow, which y'all know I love, not the Zip, just like the regular large city Barlow. It is 10 1/4 high, 10 1/4. Zip Zip is only 9.5, as well as Carter. The large Barlow has a 6-inch butt. So the butt on the Barlow is actually smaller than both the domed satchel and the domed buckle satchel, because they are both 6.5. Barlow is only 6. For length, Barlow, the large, is 12.5 long. So it is the same length as the domed satchel, but definitely not as large as the dome buckle satchel, which is 15 inches in length. All right, Michael Kors has a satchel. They have the little small dome satchels, and then they have what they call their large. The large Emmy dome satchel from Michael Kors, 9.5 tall. So it's just as tall. So it's just as tall as Zip Zip and Carter. Zip Zip, Carter, same height as the large MK Emmy dome satchel. The butt on it is 5 inches. So of all of the satchels mentioned today, for comparisons, the Michael Kors large Saffiano Emmy dome satchel has the smallest butt at 5 inches. So Zip Zip is 5 1/4, so it's even smaller, more narrow than Zip Zip. The Carter is 5 3/4. The dome satchel is 6.5. Dome buckle satchel 6.5. The large Barlow is 6, and the large Emmy is 5. The length on the large from MK is 12.5. So 12.5 is the same length as the domed satchel. I do not have Zip Zip. I don't have Carter, so I don't have those to show you in comparison. But this was when Dooney was going through a little bit of an identity crisis. They were unsure on whether or not they wanted to be Michael Kors or like Michael Kors with the chains. But this is a domed satchel. Well, there's that. so that you kind of get a feel for, and this is 12 high, 6.5, I'm sorry, no, hold on. It's 10.5 high, 10.5 high, 6.5 butt, and 12.5 inches long. This is smaller than what I'm about to show you. Another comparator, City Barlow. City Barlow is 10.25 high, 6 inches in the butt, and 12.5 inches long. What do we have here? All right, so the domed buckle satchel, and this is an original, and at some point I'm going to film the color comparison between old salmon and new salmon. But this is the domed buckle satchel. It is 12 inches in height, 6.5 inches in the butt, and 15 inches long. So 15 inches long, 6.5, 12 high. I feel like my lighting is just a little bit off, but I'm sure it's because there's like no sunlight outside. It is cold and rainy and dreary. All right, another comparator. I think this is the same bag. Yeah, this one I think is actually a little bit smaller. I don't think I have, is this, I don't think, it just says satchel. I think this one is actually a little smaller than the dome satchel, but I thought I had one more close by to show as a comparator. And I know y'all are like, get with it, I want to see it. Okay, so I do not have a zip or a Carter, but I do have, and some of y'all are going to pass out when you see this. This bag was my everyday bag for a while in black, and this is like the 1.0 version or the doctor's version of the dome satchel or the zip or the Carter, whatever you want to call it. This was as close as I got to that bag, and as you can tell, the butt on it is way bigger than what zip is today. This is like a 6 or 6.5 inch butt, so about an inch longer in depth than zip. Not to mention the amazing straps, the outside pockets, the double zip. I love this bag. But because Carter and zip are so much more narrow than this, I have never pulled the trigger. So, for those of you that jotted down the dimensions, I am going to give you the dimensions of the bag, in my opinion, that has been made by Michael Kors for those of us in the community, in the handbag community, those Dooney addicts that have not pulled the trigger on zip or Carter because of the size. Let me give you the dimensions of the Michael Kors extra large domed satchel. She is 12.25 tall. So taller than zip, taller than Carter, taller than the domed satchel, a 1/4 inch taller than the domed buckle satchel, taller than the MK large Emmy, and taller than the large Barlow. Do I have your attention? 12.25 north-south. And these are my estimations because I couldn't find the bag online because it was an outlet purchase. So I just measured it with my little handy tape measure. The butt on this thing, drum roll, it is 6 3/4. That's right, you heard me. If we are rounding, it is rounding up to a 7-inch butt. Zip Zip only has 5 1/4. This one, 6 3/4. It's a whole inch wider in the butt than Carter. It is a 1/4 inch larger in the butt than the domed buckle and the domed satchel. It is 1 3/4 inches deeper in the bottom than the MK large. It makes it look like a dwarf in comparison. And it's 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch more than the Barlow. And the length is what about took me out. Every other bag ranges from 12 inches to 15 inches, with Zip Zip being the smallest at 12 inches long. And of those that I shared with you, the salmon at 15 inches long is the largest. The MKXL domed has a 16.5-inch length. She is huge. And I am so in love. She does come with a shoulder strap, but I don't know that I would use the shoulder strap. But 12 1/4 high, 6 3/4 in the butt. So 12 1/4, 6 3/4, and 16.5 inches long. I hear you. I know what you're thinking. About damn time for somebody to get it together. I got her in vanilla with the luggage or saddle bottom. They had it in 3 different colors. They had vanilla in the luggage. They had the brown and the luggage, and then they had black and luggage. I thought this one, y'all know how I feel about blacks and browns. So to have black and brown together, or brown and brown, was a no-go for me. This one I picked because it was, to me, the most chic of the colors offered. And because although the print is a little larger, I already have a vanilla MK wallet that I love. The MKs on here, this is an older vanilla wallet, are a little larger, but I am going to make it work. So I'm going to put that together with it. The interior, so it's got about a 4.5, 5-inch handle drop. It has one zipper, whereas my Dooney one has the double, but again, it's not a Zip Zip, not a Carter. You'd have to go to the secondary market to find that one. It does have the 4 feet underneath the bottom. You can tell that the hardware is etched with the MK. I wish it had an outside pocket, but that's okay. I think the size, the length of it in particular, makes up for it, along with the fact that it does not have that dreaded dark black interior lining. So all right, let me unpack her. Okay. Lots of air paper and stuffing in the inside. Does come with a strap. Let me tell you exactly what it's called on the tag. Keep in mind, Michael Kors does ship for free from its lifestyle stores, which is also known as their retail stores. If you are a Kors VIP member, it's free to sign up. You can do that online. And if you are, they will also ship from the outlet, but it is a $10 shipping fee. And this one is the extra large domed Emmy, EMMY, in the color vanilla. It was $448, but I got it for 70% off. So, light lining, which is very important to me. I do not want to look in my bag and need a flashlight to find stuff in my bag. On the back wall, there is one zip pocket. The zip pocket feels similar to a Dooney back zip pocket. It just doesn't have a back slip pocket underneath the zip pocket, but it does have the MK. I think that's MK. Am I looking at it right? No, it's spelled out. It's spelled out Michael Kors. So the design that you're actually seeing is Michael Kors actually written out. And then on the front of the bag, there are two slip pockets. All right, I will post after this video on my Instagram. It's not a fancy picture. I posted it for the ladies, but it shows my Dooney & Bourke Main Street satchel, the Antonio Milani executive tote, and Emmy all on my steps so that you can kind of see the progression in the sizes. But I also posted a picture, or have a picture that I'm going to post, of Emmy and the executive tote side by side on my steps, and there's virtually no space left on the stairs on either side. So since the Antonio Milani is what we've been talking about lately, I'm going to just use that as a comparison so that you can kind of see the size. So I love the size of this. You know what? Because I'm keeping her. She's not going back. I'm going to go ahead and unpack. Well, I thought I was going to get this off with no issues, but it feels like it's going to give me a little bit of grief. This is what you do when you know you're going to keep a bag. All right. So I'm going to take all of this off so that you can look at the handles. I will say, similar to Willa, there's not a place hardware-wise for the strap to attach, so it's going to have to attach to the same hardware that is on the handle, which means it's going to kind of wave against your body. It's not going to necessarily lay flat, but I don't think that I would be using the strap anyway. But the straps look a little bit darker under these lights to me than the bottom of the bag, but I'm actually okay with that, particularly because I'm always using lotion and hand sanitizer and stuff. And if this color kind of stays where it is for a little while, it'll give the base of the bag a little bit of time to kind of catch up. So let me get the strap and the tag out. Uh-oh. Okay. So let me give you the item number so that if you're calling the store, again, it's the Emmy, EMMY. The color that I have is vanilla. It's regular $4.48 and it's 70% off. It's the XL Dome, DOME satchel. The item number on the ticket here is the number 3, the number 5, H is in Harry, the number 9, G is in George, Y is in Yankee, the number 3, S is in Sam, the number 4, B as in Bravo. So 3, 5, Howard, 9, George, Yankee, 3, Sam, 4, Bravo. And there it is there. Thank you, Sonja. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it is in the chat if anyone is looking for the number. The strap here is, let me see if it's adjustable. It is an adjustable strap and not to my liking, but because it's gonna butterfly, it's not gonna lay flat. I'm not gonna put it on the actual hardware of the strap, or on the strap. I'm gonna do it on the hardware that's actually holding the strap. But it's not gonna be, you see it kind of, it's not gonna sit straight because the strap isn't straight. So I don't know that I would ever use it. I may keep it on the bag just for show purposes. Maybe both on the back side, because I can't see me using it. Definitely not crossbody. Let's see. Yeah, I could see maybe just letting it hang off the back of the bag. It needs to relax a little bit. But if you use it only on the back, right, if you can't use it for a carry that way because the bag is going to be tilting. So I think I'll just keep it on here for decor purposes. All right. So in comparison, this is the large Barlow. And this is MK Emmy. You know what, let me take this, I'm going to take this off so it doesn't get in the way. It makes it look like a little dwarf. And I thought this was a good size for me, but this is an even better size for me. And yes, it's narrow at the top, but it makes up for it in length and in depth because it does have a pretty full belly, and it's only around the top that you would lose some of that space. So let's now look at it compared to, let's see here, my original. Makes this look like a dwarf now too. And we're going to look at it to the domed satchel. It's gotten away from me. It fell off the top of the pile. And then we'll take a look at the butts and the length here. Okay. And then last but not least, which is the closest in length at 15 inches long, is the domed buckle satchel in the color salmon. And this again is the original, which is still in its original packaging, but in length, only in comparison, the only other one that compares to this length is the Antonio Milani. Otherwise, in Dooney, this is as close as it gets of those that I'm comparing. All right, and now we're gonna flip them on their side so that you can see the comparisons here. All right. Woo, it's hot in here under these lights. Okay, so I have not been able to keep up with the chat. So at this point, I'm very curious to hear your thoughts as a community, particularly those of you that have steered clear of Zip, Zip, and Carter because of the dimensions. How do you feel about this one? So for anyone that would be watching this on the replay, I'm interested in learning if you have Zip, Carter. If so, what do you have? If not, why? And what do you think of the extra large Emmy? So let me see here. Just gonna try to go. Where's my phone? That may actually be better for me to pull it up on here and see the chat. All right, let me get that volume down. All right, so let's see who else has joined since we got started. Yes, Vader, I did put together, I'm going all the way back up, but I did put together some pieces for my Antonio Milani. One of those for the cognac is actually already posted kind of in lookbook format. They were just pictures that I snapped and sent to one of my tribe sisters and thought, you know what, I've already kind of pulled and paired what I have that I think will go with cognac. So I just threw that together and posted it either yesterday or day before. I have not done anything with the pewter yet or with the red, but that is coming. I think based on my other tribe sister that has this bag in cognac, the closest color, at least in her collection, was ginger, and it was like spot on. Dooney's ginger went perfectly with cognac. So if you have cognac accessories, but maybe not a bag or maybe not the size that you want from Dooney, then looking at the AM executive tote may be an option for you. So at some point, I will pull together some options for red and put that together. And then as far as pewter, the fold over wallet in pewter ostrich goes with it. It's a little bit of a couple of them have. It depends on how you pair textures on whether or not that would be a good pair for you. But really, what I'm gonna use it with is the MK pouch that has the New York skyline on it. That's what I'm going to pair with it. So I hope that answers your question. Um, let's see who else. Hello, Sandy. I'm not sure if I spoke or not. So happy Saturday. I did end up getting three colors of the Antonio Milani: the pewter, the red, and the cognac, which you've seen in this video. Um, yeah, the Sandra, I think right now the what I opened up with this chat is that Candle Book Lover, who was in the enabler corner for today, she found all four colors in Florida. And then I think Rosalind's store, Rosalind Ellis's store, the store closest to her in Ohio, had a couple left. I left black and cognac last Sunday at Perimeter Mall, Dillard's at Perimeter Mall. The Friday or the Saturday before that at Douglasville, I left a pewter and black. I bought the last cognac for one of my tribe sisters. Um, Lucinda, did you pick anything up? Did you ultimately end up getting an Antonio Milani? And what do you think of Emmy, the XL Emmy? You changed your hair again. You say you don't have either because of the size. What do you think about the XL? Is that a little closer? Sandy, will you be picking up one in the larger size, or what are your thoughts? I know you said that the Carter and the Zip are too small for you. Is this one too large for you? Is Emmy too large, or is that about spot on for you? Paradise loves Dooney and Burke. Welcome. What do you think about the size of the MK pouch? Hello, Candy Crusher. I don't have the Coach Quinn. I may need to take a look at that one online and look at the dimensions. Other than the terrain bag from Coach, which I took with me on my cruise to the Bahamas, I don't have anything else from Coach bag wise that, yeah, I haven't taken that plunge yet. I know I need to, but I have not as of yet. So I lost my place in the chat. Let's see here. Um, oh, thank you, Vader. I don't know. Salmon, I'm not one of those people that have to unpack everything in my collection when I get it. I've been chomping at the bit all week to move into the Emmy, and I'm going to go ahead and do that, particularly because I already have an accessory that I'm going to pair with it. The size of the print may bother some people, but it's not going to bother me. I'm more curious to see how the old salmon compares to the new salmon than I am unpacking it just for the sake of unpacking it. Hello, Heartstring. Welcome. Okay. I do like the pockets on the little small black one, but in comparison, it's tiny in comparison. It's tiny. Can y'all believe I'm even drinking out of a pink cup today? I know. It'll go in the trash after this. Happy Sunday, Diane Brody. Welcome. If you ladies would go ahead and hit the thumbs up for me, I would appreciate that. Happy Saturday, Delise. What are your thoughts? Do you have the domed satchel? I mean, do you have Zip Zipper Carter? Does any of that work for you in your collection? Yeah, Sandy, I agree that next to Emmy, Zip Zip would look like a little mini. It would look like a micro bag. Thank you, Heartstring. Let's see. I did see that one, but want to see red. Okay. Can't wait to see it. Love the pieces. Ah, thank you, Vader. It was just playing around. It's a little easier to, just kind of mix and match now that I've got the accessories out for the most part. Still digging in the closet for a few others, but for the most part, they are out. Oh, Lucinda, so do you need another red? Because Candle Book Lover actually found some in Florida. And I don't know, Mrs. Q, did your store still have red? Lucinda, it may get to you in Texas quicker from wherever Mrs. Q was shopping than trying to get it from Florida. Hi, M2. Happy Saturday. All right. It looks like, okay, so Diane says that Carter, so she did pick the larger version of the two sizes, but Carter is still a bit small. Yeah, when it is small in the bottom both ways, right? Length and depth, and then it's not high, so you can't stack or arrange your items in the bag so that you can maximize the vertical space because it's so short. That can be a problem. I know most, if not all of you, are familiar with, you've seen this on my channel before, right? This wallet style is the reason I didn't have a lot of accessories from Dooney, just because the wallets were not working for me until I discovered Toomey's travel wallet, Michael Kors travel wallet. So I picked these up. So I'm just going to give you, and that's a full, y'all know I don't play around with little wallets. I'm just going to let you see how much space is still in this with that full wallet. Can you even see it in there? Take the strap out so that you can. And then if I wanted to keep it upright, I could do that as well and still have a ton of space and no issues with the zipper. So I would say that these two are not too terribly far off in length or too much in depth. What makes this one look a little deeper is the fact that it kind of has this pleating detail. It's a optical illusion, right? So when you're looking at the depth, pay attention here, not necessarily here, okay? See, not a significant difference when your eyes, focus in the right place so that the dimensions are comparators. Yes, Mo, it is luggage. Vanilla with luggage. Let me see if I can actually get these to line up. And again, your eyes will tell you that, because it's kind of breaking up the bottom. This one is, I think, a little bit, let's see. It is a little wider. It is wider. But the length is the same as the Antonio Milani. But Emmy does have a bigger butt. She's got more depth to her. And she definitely has a little bit more height to her than the Antonio Milani. Not much height more, right? And it's not really usable space. It's about, from here, from the top of the logo. So it's not going to interfere with it. But if the AM bag, if you were on the fence, not about the material, but if you were on the fence about the AM bag, about the size, then it's likely that Emmy is going to be too large for you. But that is the Michael Kors extra large dome, D-O-M-E, not domed, D-O-M-E-D, dome satchel. So between this and my overdue, much needed Coach iPad case for my iPad Pro, that has been the extent of my purchases for this week. And I'm actually not looking. I'll probably do some clothes shopping for Black Friday, maybe online, but I don't think I'm gonna. I realize that I live, despite all of the circumstances, I live an extremely blessed life. And I have more handbags than I have arms and crossbody to carry them on. And I don't need anything else right now. Now, that being said, and I'm sure the Closet Dive will agree with me, that I had a gap in my collection, and this filled that gap. So I can't think of anything else that I need. Lucinda, I have shopped all year long. Matter of fact, I have been shopping for the last 2 years because it kind of came up leading up to the Chicago meetup. And then as a tribe, we shopped from the time we shopped before we got together in May to get ready for our meetup in May. And then we shopped from May straight through the end of the year for bags. And then we kicked off in January buying accessories primarily and then bags. There are going to have to be some pretty creative bag designs, some coveted or unique colors for me as a collector to continue to spend my money in this category, because I don't know that I have enough life left, years left, in order to carry all that I have. So at some point, organization, shifting focus, enjoying what you've acquired has to become my focus, and doing other things like traveling or like getting my collection organized, or any number of things that can occupy both the time and the resources that have been allotted to acquiring my bags, because it's a lot. It's a lot. it's a lot. And I don't need anybody to tell me that it's a lot, right? Every person on this planet has their thing. Some people it's reading, some people it's traveling, some people it's eating, some people it's smoking or wine tasting, or it could be automotives or crafting. Everybody has something that is their thing. And he who is without sin cast the first stone. So I'm not looking for a critique of my spending habits, but clearly the internet is on, the lights are on, the phone is on, and all of that other stuff. So I'm good. We're good over here. But everybody has to determine when enough is enough for them. And I'm not saying that I'm at the point of cutting everything completely off, because I'm not one of those people that believes in a very restrictive, discipline, right? As soon as I tell myself that I don't buy another bag, then I feel like I'm missing out. I feel like I'm deprived. And then when I break my ban, I go crazy, right? Or if I'm not gonna buy, it's like no more wallets, no more Carringtons. No, then of course, then those things will come up, and I'll feel like I'm missing out. So I'm not gonna call it a low buy. I'm not gonna even call it making selective purchases. But as 2019 winds down, and it's gonna wind down, we may not all be here to see it, but it will come to a close, and 2020 will be ushered in. For me personally, I know that from a collection standpoint, um, I can't think of much more that is missing in my collection that I would need to add. There could be something out there amazing that I've not yet seen, or something in the making, but I think that I'm good. I think I'm good, at least for now. Who knows what tomorrow will bring or hold. But I wanted to just kind of pull, look how many comparators I have, really. So I just wanted to pull that out. And this is the HB. And no, it's not domed, but so that you can see the difference since it's close. It makes the HB bag look like a little dwarf too. So I think I'm good. There is another bag that I want to do a comparison to, but I think I'm gonna film that in a separate video. I also want to do a color comparison between old salmon and new salmon, so that'll be a separate video. If you're curious to see what I've paired with my Antonio Milani executive tote, that video has been uploaded. Kimberly Mines uploaded a recent video. Sonja Covington uploaded a brown sugar box. DJ King uploaded a video this afternoon. Mrs. Q had a For Real Friday last night. If you were unable to join, please pop over to her channel and take a look. If you're not following me on Instagram, please make sure you do so at Dooney Addict 615. I'm going to be posting some picture comparisons, the ones that I mentioned earlier, over on Instagram, not on the community tab on Facebook, over on Instagram. So if you're not already following me and you're curious to see what those look like, then please head over as soon as this video ends and check me out on Instagram. I am planning to be here tomorrow evening, but if not, I may end up filming a feature and we just kind of all watch it. I'm not sure. It's the week of the holiday, and I'm in free agent mode, and my mom and my sister and my nephew have all asked, when are you coming? Because I have not been there now in a couple of months. So I am ready to get to my family. So I may head out tomorrow. It depends on how much packing and stuff I can get done. But if not, it'll be early next week. So I appreciate you all for hanging around. I would ask that you kindly hit the thumbs up before you head out. Catch me tomorrow at, I think I'm still going to do 6 Eastern, 5 Central for Feed Your Addiction. And then Mrs. Q, we're taking this Friday off, right? No For Real Friday and no For Real Friday Eve because of the holiday. I just want to make sure you didn't change your mind while you slept last night. I remember you saying that last night. Are we still good? Okay. I would ask that again. There are 25 of you, but only 16 have hit the thumbs up. Please hit the thumbs up before you head out. Thank you so very much for watching. Until next time, I do hope you find something that feeds your addiction. Take care.